From Abuja, the nation's capital, this is Matters Arising, coming to you live from the studio of Kaftan Television. Matters Arising is the flagship talk show of Kaftan TV that features in-depth discussions and analysis of topical and trending national as well as international issues by our team of seasoned broadcast journalists. My name is Macauley Hunohashi saying, thanks for joining us.
And I am John Okoro. Welcome to the program.
And I am Maryam Idis. Good evening and glad to have you here with us.
We welcome you to today's show, which promises to be engaging, incisive and interactive. You can also be a part of the conversation by calling our phone number 0802-993-8365, which will be displayed on your screen later in the course of the show. Maryam, Okoro, you know, when I came out today, I saw the entire street from my house right through the major highway that took me to Kaftan Television. You know, most of the roads were desolate. You know, the usual hustle and bustle, you know, associated or characterize the roads were absent. I was thinking whether it's weekend and
how did you think the same thing? Because I was asking my sister on phone, like, is it really weekend today? Or, because I was coming to work, of course, I knew today was Wednesday, but the way there were very few motors and vehicles on the road, I was like, what is really happening? But of course, it's very obvious.
And it's
we all know what is happening.
We don't believe it's Wednesday.
Honestly, it seems like a Saturday or Sunday, you know.
At the time, I even had to ask someone whether maybe I missed a public holiday that I didn't know.
I thought I was the only person wondering.
What could have been the reason? Is it okay?
It's very obvious. The problem of what we're going to discuss about today.
The quadrupling of transports.
Okay.
Because there's nothing people can actually do. This, you know,
there's nothing people can do.
So you either stay put
everywhere was very silent.
People.
Yeah.
You know, my area around AYA axis is always full of bustle and hustle and the vehicles and, you know, very chaotic, but it was very silent today.
Okay. Well, and now to our topic of discussion tonight, which is on politics of fuel pricing in Nigeria as Dangote Refinery rolls out Petrol Motor Spirit. The protracted energy crisis in Nigeria, especially as it concerns supply and pricing of fuel, seems not to be abating. Nigerians who have been keeping vigil in filling stations due to the biting fuel scarcity were further jolted on Tuesday, September 3rd, with the adjustment of fuel pump price by the NNPCL to 855 naira in Lagos, 897 naira in Abuja, and more than 900 naira in most northern states. Meanwhile, most independent marketers taking the cue from NNPCL have equally adjusted their pump price to read above 1,000 naira in many parts of the country. Minister of State for Petroleum, Henneken Lokpobiri, in reaction to views held by many Nigerians that the new price hike by NNPCL may have the backing of the federal government, has denied federal government's involvement, asserting that the company was now private and could do what it deemed fit. This development came on the same day the Dangote Refinery announced the rollout of its PMS into the market. For several months, Nigerians have been eagerly waiting, or rather awaiting, the rollout of Dangote's fuel with the hope that it will drastically bring down the pump of price in Nigeria. However, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, while announcing his company's PMS rollout on Tuesday, noted that the NNPCL will be the only off-taker of the product and will also determine the price in the market. Dangote added that the issue of pricing will eventually be determined by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the Federal Executive Council. On today's episode, we shall be looking at the following. What's the logic behind the new price increase by NNPCL? What's the logic behind Dangote's refinery, a private entity, announcing that NNPCL, a pseudo-government monopoly, will be the only off-taker for this fuel, including determination of the price? Why would all other marketers not buy directly from Dangote and sell at their own price in a supposedly deregulated environment? Is there still hope that fuel price will ever come down with these developments, including the raging acute scarcity that is a common spectacle across the length and breadth of Nigeria. Well, beyond this, we all know that Nigeria is a member of OPEC, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, and Nigeria is supposed to be a member of that organization, the global body. And for you to be a member, you need to be exporting petroleum, because the name says Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. And I stand to be corrected that we only export crude. We don't manufacture, we don't refine the end product that gets to the consumer. We dig out the crude, sell it abroad, then wait for them to refine it, and then buy it, and then sell to the end consumers within the country. And we are supposed to be a member of the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. And we are said to be the 6th largest producer. I want to emphasize on that word, producer of petroleum products, in the world. I beg to disagree that I don't even know the number we belong, whether Maryam, you're chuckling already, whether we're number 6 or number, but we have titles.
We're among the top 10.
It's funny.
John, this is escapist. For you to say among the 10, it is safer for you to say so, I believe, so that you don't want anything that will create semblance of us ridiculing our country. But I understand with you. But are we number 6? But you're chuckling already.
No, honestly, this is... we're listening.
No, go ahead. I think I just want to lay the tone for the conversation before we open our telephone lines for viewers to begin to call in. John?
Yes, when you were doing your introduction, I was following, and two things there that I want to look into. The first is the increase, the sudden increase, despite all the assurances from government that there will not be any form of fuel increase at a time like this, and also understanding that the NNPCL continues to be the monopolist in terms of bringing in fuel, importing refined fuel into the country,
and fixing price,
and then selling to the rest of the people, and then setting the tone for the price regime. Then from there, other independent marketers now pick up from there, and then now add up something. And then while that has been going on, then the Dangote refinery also came on board. Yesterday it announced that it was rolling out its PMS to the market in the next 48 hours. So the next question was, please, how much will you be selling your fuel at retail price? Then Dangote said that will be determined by the NNPC, which will be his off-taker. As in off-taker here means that NNPC will buy everything. That if Dangote has, for example, we heard that Dangote will be churning out like 20 million liters per day. So it means the whole 20 million liters of fuel that Dangote will be rolling out per day will be purchased by the NNPCL. Then all the independent marketers who are now interested in buying Dangote's fuel will now come to NNPCL and buy. You understand? And it is the same NNPCL that will now determine the price. So now it now becomes even more confusing, because first of all, there is the belief that the downstream sector of the petroleum industry has been deregulated, especially after the subsidy is gone speech. Now, how come again that based on the provisions of the Petroleum Industry Act, whereby the NNPCL should be a private company and also be a participant, equal participant with other participants, how come that up to today NNPCL still remains a government monopoly? So how so this is
very important.
How do we get to this point here? That's where it is confusing, because we believe that Dangote, even though we know that when Dangote was building, we heard the government had about a 20% stake. Later on, it was now reduced to about 9% stake.
9%, yes.
All right. So now, based on that, does the federal government now have a controlling share of Dangote that the NNPCL, which is currently, as far as I'm concerned, it's still a government monopoly. That will be the one that will now control the NNP's, the Dangote's refineries fuel.
And they say it's private already.
And you see, and NNPC is supposed to be private, and now that's why there's confusion.
Yeah,
so I think somehow, somewhere, maybe someone has to explain more to us.
Yeah.
It's a confusion there. There's a name we use for it, antithetical.
Antithetical,
you know.
I think you saw me laughing. I wasn't really laughing or giggling. There's something we call it in Hausa yaki, like laughing in anger, because I think I understand. I'm meant to believe now that explaining this system in Nigeria, this whole fuel Nigerian system, is like getting a very big headache. You know, I don't know if they do it intentionally to just confuse you, so that you don't know, you don't just ask questions. They just tell you this today, tell you this tomorrow. You see, early August, Mede Kyari told us that it's
5 times.
You understand? By the end of the August, this is going to happen, and we saw an entirely different thing. Yesterday was very terrible. You could see the queue in the filling station. So there's something one Kojo wrote that I really want to share with you, because I totally agree with what he said. So he said it's not a rocket science to see what is actually going on. As Owando owns 49% of OVH, which now controls NNPC distribution. He went ahead and said distribution operations downstream, and they will be the sole controller of the gasoline in the entire country. He went ahead and said, ironically, they will set the price of gasoline in the country instead of the market forces, just like you said, giving them monopoly. So he said, this simply means even with Dangote producing gasoline, on the price might never go so much down as well as we all hoped. So he went ahead and said, and even if the federal government pays subsidy, they will still pocket it, because federal government will be paying subsidy to itself. One of the most confusing things. It's more confusing, right? He said, well, nothing Dangote can really do. He had to compromise to get the crude he needs to get his refinery running. So I don't really blame Dangote here, because if Dangote refuses, of course there have been, closed door meetings, because this is the end product they just showed us. If Dangote refuses, the business will go down.
Dangote is a businessman. He's in the business space to make profit. Business is all about profit.
Of course, he has to agree with most of the times.
Even though
so largest crude, or we are the largest crude oil producer and largest refinery in the whole of Africa. But we don't have PMS in our stations. Now some people are saying Dangote should start building filling stations. I don't know. I really want answers to this. Then he should directly transfer the refined oil, supplying his refined oil to his stations. And can't he really become a major distributor too? So I said maybe it's not possible, because these NNPC people can do anything to stop that, because he will really be removing food off some greedy mouths, so they wouldn't like that, and that's why he had problems with the refinery before he started working. So I feel like I really want to ask this question: can he be the major distributor? If no, why?
Why not?
Why not? Yes. Is it because the reason? Will it be possibly because of the reasons I said? Because honestly, this is just I feel this is an aluta continue. Because what comrade will say, because the chain of corruption will just go. I think this is the case of corruption and nothing more. It's a case of corruption because some corrupt-minded people will not allow we, the average Nigerians, to enjoy this thing, because it will really disturb their own pockets, It will destroy their own ways of getting cash or money or whatever. I think that's my take, and my question, I really want to know if Dangote himself can be the major distributor.
Okay, we're going to open our telephone line so that viewers can also begin to call in to give us their opinion, and that's it right on your screen. Please do call in so that we can hear your views by making the program conversational and interactive. I think, Maryam, I am in league with what you said. Dangote has to be very, very careful. He has to, he has to abide by the terms which will never be made public.
Of course.
Because Dangote builds his refinery as a businessman, he needs to survive. Now he doesn't have access to crude. Dangote is a refining.
Of course, they give him the.
And if he has to resort to crude outside the country, that would mean more money.
That would be more money.
Spend more money.
Okay, let's say this our first caller. Hello, good evening. Please, this is Matters Arising on Kaftan Television. Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
Yeah, my name is Austin, calling from Ondo.
Austin from Ondo, go ahead with your contribution, sir.
Yeah, my simple contribution as regarding the matter tonight.
Yes.
It's nothing but when we talk about the Dangote refinery, first and foremost, we have to know that there are forces that have been battling with Dangote refinery from onset. Number one, there was a time they said they will not give Dangote crude.
Yeah.
The meeting was held behind the door.
Yeah.
When Dangote started taking some pains, which appears to be indicting.
Yeah.
Then they later said, okay, come. They both agreed, still behind the door, and said, okay, we'll be giving you crude oil. Now, this was coming actually from the same NNPCL. Then after that, sometimes earlier this year, they said Dangote refinery cannot work until 2025. They both fought that issue out, and the forces behind also came. Come, this is the share. We all know that many people in NNPCL are corrupt. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So for Dangote to come up today and say, my PMS is out, now it goes straight to NNPCL. It's as a result of a table talk
Exactly.
between the NNPCL, the federal government as well, and Dangote. Because now federal government is aware that Dangote refinery is coming up tomorrow. That was 3 days ago. And they both agreed that, okay, this is the share and how you are going to distribute it, which is in the dailies everywhere. Now, yesterday, they came up to say PMS will be sold at the rate of 855 naira. After Dangote came up to say, my PMS is coming out in
48 hours.
Now, who is deceiving who?
All right.
Federal government debunked it and said, no, we don't have hands in that.
Yeah.
That's in the increment.
In the same Abuja where Asorok is situated, PMS is 855.
55, yeah.
And in some other places. And presidency has not deemed it fit to come out and talk about it. See, when we say all these things till tomorrow, even if Dangote is coming up tomorrow to say, I want to have my own as a sole distributor, some forces will still track him down.
Exactly.
We are not going anywhere.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, is Nigeria going to be built on Dangote alone?
I don't.
It's not possible. So there are people who can actually see to this, but nobody will come out for it. When you say anything, they will come after you.
Yeah.
So Nigeria is not going anywhere as we speak for now. There are forces, and not until we bring down those forces, the country cannot move forward. So there are people that needs to go down. Let the presidency come out and debunk it.
Thank you.
That they don't have ends in the 855 increment.
Thank you.
That's just my contribution.
Thank you, Austin, for this wonderful contribution. You know, Austin is cynical, and you don't blame him. So many Nigerians are, like that. You know, and this cynicism that comes from Nigeria has remained, remain fixated. It is a fixated mindset, and you don't blame Nigerians for having a fixated mindset because of, policies, by the previous governments and even the current administration.
There's something that the last caller, Austin, right?
Austin
said, about Dangote, about government coming out to deny or not deny. Yesterday the Minister of State for Petrol, actually came out to deny. But in denying, he also pushed it to the NNPC, saying that NNPC is now a private company, and therefore it can fix any price. Then when the Labour Center, through the NLC, also condemned the price hike, and said that it was a betrayal of what or the agreement that they had with government, then a presidential aide came for him to attack him.
Yeah.
There was no agreement between government, because the Labour said that government told them that if we must increase the minimum wage to 250,000 naira, which means we are going to increase the pump price of fuel. But if we are going to peg the minimum wage at 70,000 naira, it means that we are not going to increase the pump price of fuel.
Okay, Maryam, let's take this call.
Okay.
Hello, good evening. This is Matters Arising from Kaftan Television Live. Go ahead.
Good evening.
Good evening. Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
My name is Nazim Isaac, calling from Jos.
Nazim Isaac, yeah, caller. Go ahead, please, with your contribution.
Yeah, seriously, what is really happening in Nigeria now is just that our leaders doesn't care about the masses. Because it's the simple stuff that I think the president has the right. All those cabals that they are there, conniving money from NNPC, doing all those stops, can't stop them. But it's so annoying when we see stuff like this happening, and then the government will be nude. I expect the things yesterday that they said they have increased the price of PMS. And one funny thing about us Nigerians, we like panic buying.
Yeah.
So any small thing you see people will be queuing, will not hear from the right source. And now the federal government are saying they don't know anything about the increment of the PMS. So who is fooling who here? Who are we going to believe now? The federal government or the NNPC? If you allow them to run, I know there is a problem somewhere, but we hope that it will work nice.
Okay, thank you. Nazim Isaac from Jos, you heard him, Maryam.
Yeah. And what I wanted to add is that we had refineries in Nigeria, and these people refused to repair these refineries and even maintain it, right? So you think the people that refused to fix our own refineries will just sit down and watch one man come to change the narrative? It's not going to happen. One thing is, I believe the people in this system are very corrupt-minded, and they are not going to allow us, the average Nigerians, to enjoy decreased or very low price of PMS. Number two, I believe if this thing is decentralized, and it doesn't make sense making just NNPCL the main distributor of fuels. No, we are not going to. It's only going to go higher. Talking about Nigeria all makes there's this anger inside me that I don't really want to.
Okay, Maryam, let's take this caller before you explode.
I don't want to explode,
Before you explode, good evening. This is Matters Arising live from Kaftan TV.
Yeah, good evening.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, my name is Emmanuel.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm calling from Benue.
Benue State, yeah, I know you.
Okay, sir.
Go ahead.
The problem of fuel scarcity in Nigeria at the moment is just striking so hard, and there are a lot of confusion. We don't know where to believe what. You hear this one, and the next day you hear the other one. Like the price where you hear the NNP saying no, they are not the ones that fix the current price. And we say, okay, if they are not the people that fix the current price, why are they selling in their stations at that same price? They're saying they are not the ones that fix the price. Like in Macauley at the moment, we are buying at NNPC 895 naira per liter. Other small marketers are selling at 1,000 some 999 naira. And this thing is so confusing. Look at Dangote, who is supposed to start supplying, like you say, 48 hours. I think the 48 hours are elapsed today. We're expecting to hear sharing news that the prayer is everywhere in the country, and this price has come down. And we have not heard anywhere that the fuel is supplied. And we keep wondering who are in charge of these prices that are going on. So right now, the government will say this, and then we hear the other one. So we don't know what is happening.
Thank you.
So that is our concern at the moment.
Thank you, Ima from Benue State.
Thank you, sir.
I think I agree with Ima. There is confusion there over comments emanating, particularly from government officials. NNPC came out, like John Okoro said. The Minister of Petroleum came out, Minister of State Petroleum came out to debunk, the allegation that it was federal government that fixed the new price. And, Imam from Benue is saying, okay, you have denied that you are not the one that fixed the new pump price that jacked it up. But you have adjusted the pump price in your own filling station. All the NNPC filling stations, he's saying that they have adjusted their price, they have increased it. So if you did not, announce the new price increase, or give directive towards that,
of course.
Why are you adjusting yours?
What the Minister of State, Senator Heineken Wabiri, was trying to do was to distance itself from the NNPC by also trying to bamboozle us to believe that NNPC is now private. So when it is the issue of price hike, NNPC becomes private. Then when it is about monopoly, NNPC becomes what we don't understand. Because as we speak now, you remember the issue of the debt that they say NNPC is holding, owing marketers about 6 billion. So it is believed that as we speak today, the NNPC does not have access to fuel because of the debt, and therefore the only way that they can have access to fuel now is from the Dangote refinery. And now, on the same day that Dangote refinery was to announce its rollout, that same day NNPC went and increased the price. So how much, putting the benchmark at 855 naira in Lagos, 897 in Abuja, and more than 900 in many northern states. Now, if tomorrow Dangote's fuel hits the streets, is it going to be below 800 or something like that, which is below the benchmark of NNPC? Do you understand what is happening there?
I do. So that's the question they need to answer.
That's the question I have too.
That's the question Maryam asked too.
Everybody has that kind of question, honestly, because I just believe they're just playing with your heads, our heads. They're just trying to confuse you so that you can no longer ask questions, Because
but Nigerians will continue to ask questions.
But where are we going to get the answers?
That's what we're doing.
Are we going to get answers?
We need explanations.
Because we need answers. How are we going to get? How are we going to get this answer?
Maryam, let's take this caller, Maryam.
Oh, okay.
Good evening. Could you turn down the volume of your television set, please? Okay, go ahead. We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. My name is Betsy, calling from Port Harcourt.
Betsy? Benedict, from Port Harcourt, go ahead with your contribution.
Yes. I've listened to your program. Understand, I really enjoy the program, but right now, I think the problem we have in this country, we have the problem.
Okay.
People are always afraid of panic buying of oil. Like the Port Harcourt that bought for this night, more than 300 per liter. And their meter is not even correct. So it is not easy. People are just suffering. And I want to go and buy something at the market. They increase the price of things in the market. They say because the price of oil has gone up. For what reason? They have old stuff in the market. So things is very difficult right now. We don't even know what heading to in this country. If I have my way, I have to move out of this country to my family because I can't continue this. Even if I want to go to Ghana or Togo to go and stay, we start a new life there.
Okay.
Everybody's running away already.
Country, difficult for we the citizens of this country. We're suffering. It's so much. So I love you guys' program. Keep on doing a good job, and God will bless you for your good job you're doing.
Amen. We say amen to that. Thank you so much for calling in. We appreciate your concern. He's already, he's full of trepidation. He's even contemplating leaving the shores of Nigeria with his family. He mentioned a place like Ghana.
Just like many people.
Mr. Macauley,
He's
go to
speaking the minds of millions of people.
How Nigerians are. We saw the other day. I saw some Nigerians. They were beneath a ship, a cargo ship, I think. You can imagine a Nigerian trying to kill himself just because he wants to leave this country. But you can you can understand. You know, they know deep down they cannot make it there outside that ship in the sea. But the desperation, you know, people are already suffering and they see the greener pastures there and they just decide to go just because of the hardships we are facing in Nigeria.
Okay,
it's not easy actually. Hello?
Go ahead. You are on to Matters Arising on Kaftan Television. Please go ahead. Maryam, you know, last month, from the 1st of August to the 10th of August 2024, there was this 10 days nationwide protest. I'm not talking about the protest, I'm talking about the fallout. About 300 protesters were arrested for protesting against what they said, hunger. I know, hunger that was exacerbated by the policies that was designed to make life better for them. And they are saying, we don't like these policies, change them. About 200 were arrested, 10 were arraigned, you know, in the court, and we're hearing that
they charge them for treason.
They are going to, in fact, they will serve jail time to serve as a deterrent for other Nigerians who are thinking of embarking on similar demonstration.
I don't think even the military regime will not do this. You know, I don't understand this government. Now I saw in the news this evening that they are trying to increase the tax from 7.5 to 10.
VAT.
And yes, sorry, yes, of course.
Yeah,
then
it's
yes, it's still tax.
Yeah,
you know?
Tax.
Okay. Now we all know that in Nigeria, every activities is determined by the price of fuel. Now they have increased it, like we discussed in the beginning of this show today. In the beginning of the show, we discussed how motorists were already few. Now I cannot move my car because I don't have fuel. The queue yesterday, I couldn't stand it. If you use Bolt now, it's tripling. It's tripling, yeah. You know, it's not even doubling, it's tripling. Then the normal car you use, these small ones that an average Abuja resident will use, it's crippling too, you know. Where are we going to? What is really happening?
You don't know where we're headed.
Of course. And see, the prices of things in the market.
Don't tell this caller. This caller may tell us where we're headed. Hello. Good evening. This is Matters Arising.
Yes, I'm calling from Macauley. This is Christopher.
Christopher from Macauley. Turn down the volume of your TV and go ahead.
All right, I'll do that. Yes, I'm very, very happy for this your program, and I have to ask God to say thank you for enlightening Nigeria. A lot of Nigeria they expected this kind of a program, and I want to thank you for the guests on the center, the lady there.
Okay.
Actually, if I have my way too, just like the last guest, I will jump out with my family too, because we are no longer safe. Are we talking of security, or we are talking of what? We are talking of what? See, one thing we should also know here is this. It's very simple. The president is the Minister of Petroleum. For Christ's sake, let it come and tell Nigeria. The Nigeria don't have anything like Minister of Petroleum. That right from Obasanjo down to Yaradua, down to Jonathan, down to today is a president we have Tinubu. He is the Minister of Petroleum, and the whole Nigeria they are looking onto him to come and tell us what is happening with the sector. Whether private or no private, all of us we build, that is the source we have, the only source we have in this nation. Please, I think this is the time for him not to fold his hand, to come and tell Nigerians what is actually happening there. What is this cabal that is holding him tight that he cannot explain to Nigeria?
Okay.
It is the people of Nigeria who come out to rescue this issue. So, and also, I want to echo to Labour. This is the time the Labour will come out to speak for the masses. Let them come out to speak for the masses, not in terms of adding money. Adding money, you go to market, what they add triple here, you triple on the market. They have no value. So this is our country. We don't have any other country to go.
Yes.
Why are we polishing ourselves? Please, for Christ's sake. Let them come down to the round table and tell ourselves the truth. Issue of Dangote refinery of the EU to solve the problem. What is happening with our own refinery? If they can build a refinery for years, what is now? They cannot build refinery. Please, he's the Minister of Petroleum. I still remind him, this is not what they promise they tell Nigeria. This is not what they tell Nigeria before they vote for them. And Nigeria, they are looking up to them. Please, they should not take this Nigerian country to anarchy. Please, I'm pleading with Mr. President. He has every right. And all Nigeria, they are looking up to him, not any other person. I think you media, you are doing the best. I want to thank you people for this.
Thank you, I appreciate
effort you people are putting a light to the masses. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Christopher from Macauley. He has raised so.
You know, I have been thinking of something.
Okay.
You know, looking at the political economy that this present administration, led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you know, is implementing, it's not favorable for the people. It's not good for the citizens. And what is also surprising to me is that a government which is supposed to cater for the welfare of the people is actually creating problems that have continued to impoverish the people into being destitute. Because as we were jokingly saying at the beginning of this program, a time will come today, right here in Abuja, you know, most people who work in the city of Abuja come from the suburbs. Some come from neighboring states like Nasarawa, Niger State, very close here. Do you know that a trip from Maraba, which is the nearest to the FCT, in Nasarawa State, which is usually rush hour time, is 500 naira to the city center, we say, or bigger. Now, today, because of the hike in pump price, that trip has now tripled to 1,005.
Yeah.
That's the investigation today.
Today, I didn't have to investigate in the sense of I lived it.
Okay.
You can imagine from AYA to Owando here. People are telling you
an example now. So now, people that are earning less than 60,000 naira, because most Nigerians are just managing. So if when you see people struggling every morning in the name of going to work, so you think that how much are they earning?
There's no corresponding increase.
No way. There's no way. So what's going to happen is that this is going to create more poverty for the people. Now we expect that the aim of government, is to ameliorate people's sufferings. Why do you have to increase the suffering of the people? And nobody seems to be saying, and if you want to say anything, either you are hounded, jailed, or they come after you. Like they're coming after Labour now.
Okay, we're going to take a short break, and when we return, the program will continue. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
In the beginning, God created a beautiful world.
3, 2, 1. Action.
And that's why at Cartoon Television,
we imagine a beautiful world.
We are not just bragging.
We blaze the trail in broadcasting. And it is about you.
At Captain TV, broadcasting is not just about information, education, and entertainment.
It's an aggregation of all you need to know in Nigeria
and around the world to create signal.
At Cartoon Television, we have all it takes to be on top in broadcasting.
Our mission is simple: to project Africa in a truthful yet positive manner.
Wait, we're coming to you in style.
Here we are, starting from September.
Look at what the facts are.
And as you say on Captain TV, imagine a beautiful world.
You're welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Matters Arising live from Kaftan Television in Abuja, the nation's capital. Before we went on that break, John, you were on a line of thought.
Yes. What I was trying to say before that break was that the political economy that this government is trying to implement or has been implementing has only ended up impoverishing the people the more, and then leading them into despondency and destitution. You understand? And nobody is immune though, unless you are within that circle. And we expect that the government should show empathy. The government should be working day and night, trying to see how they can ameliorate the problem. Rather, they are every day creating more problems for the people. Imagine people are crying that at 500 plus, that fear was high, you increased to 600 plus, from there to 700 something, and now we are hitting 1,000. And why? You know that every facet of the economy.
Let's take the caller, John. I like the line of thought. Hello? Good evening. Go ahead, sir. Your name and where you're calling from.
Hello?
Go ahead. We can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay. My name is Prince Ekpenyong. I'm calling from Cross River State.
Okay, Ekpenyong, Cross River. Go ahead.
Yeah. Basically, I want to thank all of you for what you guys are discussing this evening.
We appreciate it.
Nigeria is sinking. Seriously sinking. I want to appreciate John. I want to appreciate Maryam. What you people are saying is not very, very, very far. It is happening live. People cannot feed. If you come to Cross River State, where you are calling the state of paradise, tourism and all that, everything is dying. Everything is dying. And I don't know what the present government are doing. What are the governors? Okay, federal government cannot do anything. What are the governors doing right now to ameliorate the challenges in terms of transport, in terms of bills? All the landlords in Cross River State, everybody is using what they have to take advantage of the common man. People are increasing rent. You cannot even pay your rent. People are even using the opportunity to give you quick notice to get out of their houses. A lot of rubbish are happening, and the president is keeping quiet. Senators are keeping quiet. Senate president that are expected to have performed in this time, he is not doing anything. The governors that are also being given so much money, where is the money? Where is the money going? And they keep keeping quiet, thinking that Nigerians are foolish, thinking that Nigerians are stupid. We are not stupid though. I remember when I was born in Festac. I was born in Festac town, Lagos. I'm now in Calabar. I remember when the coup happened during Babangida's time. I am not too small. And they said the young people are the leaders of tomorrow. The young people are leaders of tomorrow. I'm still in this Cross River State. Nothing has improved. Nothing has changed. A lot of my friends have left the country. People are asking me, what are you still doing in Nigeria? Come out from there. And I cannot leave my country like this. I cannot go anywhere because I look at the country they are even inviting me. Look at what is happening in UK some weeks ago.
Exactly.
Immigrants have been attacked for even coming to make a living. And our government are sitting down. All they know is traveling out, going for holidays, even sending their own kids abroad when the education here is dying. The UK system, the foreign countries are taking advantage of the Africans to come there and school. And when you are going there to school, either you are stealing money, either you have an uncle that is able to fund that education, and they forget that the dollars that is going out, the pounds that is going out, is affecting this country tremendously.
Okay, thank you.
And they're not doing anything. So please, I just want to plead that the president should do something. I'm a Lagos boy. I have the right to say that he should do something.
Thank you.
And not keep quiet. How is it that the president is a minister of petroleum up to today, right from Obasanjo's time? They are always ministers. Why is he supposed to be so? Why can't you delegate that assignment to somebody else, or even becoming the minister for defense? Let them leave that petroleum side so that we will understand. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ekpenyong, for this laudable contribution. Maryam, Ekpenyong has reignited the anger in you. I can see from your demeanor.
You know, if you care about Nigeria, you know, and you see these things happening, right? you're going to get angry. It's not intentional. There's this spike of anger that will just emanate from nowhere. You know, I will say this honestly. About this particular topic, the Minister of State for Petroleum have spoken. We really need President Bola Tinubu, since he's the Minister of Petroleum, to really say something. We really need to get answers. I know sometimes the government doesn't really talk. I feel like the government are very insensitive towards the cries and wills of the people. There is no longer, before when growing up, you can say, you can proudly say, I'm from the middle class. There is no longer middle class in Nigeria. It's either the higher ups or the poor people. The middle class, even the salary earners now are crying. People are crying. People are broke. People are very poor. People don't eat. Malnutrition is the order of the day.
Hold on, we'll continue when I want that thought. Let's take this caller. Hello. Okay, good evening. This is Captain Television. Go ahead, please.
How are you, sir?
We are fine, and you?
Yeah, I would like to contribute on the topic that people are discussing. My name also is from Abuja.
Okay, from Abuja.
I'm a regular contributor.
That's right. We know you. I know you very well. We are familiar. Go ahead, please.
What I would like to chip in on this issue is one or two things.
Okay, go ahead. It's your show.
Number one, do we have elders in this country that can talk to Mr. President and all the cabinet or maybe all the governors? Let them call for a meeting before this country turns to a banana country. Because with what is going on now, the other day, the labor is asking for 1 million naira for the workers. The government said there is no money. But after a little period, the president went and purchased another plane. Then he went to purchase another car, in which we have a big series of cars. From my little research, the president of the United States of America was using the plane that manufactured 1944. It is the same plane that the president of America is still using. If you cannot use it, then you go on your own. Hey, if you go to England, the president, the prime minister in England doesn't have a personal seat. He flies like other people. If you go to Italy, the minister doesn't have official car. The minister doesn't have official car. Before you are being given a loan to get a car in Italy as a minister, it will take the grace of God before it will approve it for you. So what is happening in Nigeria? Britain doesn't have fuel. The other time, some years back, they will be telling us that because our fuel was being taken to Nigeria, taken to Cameroon, taken to Republic of Benin, so that's why they are increasing their fuel. Now, they said they remove subsidy, they remove this. I don't know where this country is going.
You're trying to wrap up, sir.
The headers of this nation, yes, sir. The headers of this nation supposed to call these people to order before the anarchy will start.
Thank you.
Please, we don't pray for this thing to happen. We don't pray for it, but this government are moving us towards that direction.
That's right.
Because it cut across everybody. The military that they rely upon to use against the masses of this country. The military, the police, the immigration, the customs, the civil defense, all it anything, they also are part and parcel of this society. They are the recipient.
Thank you so much. We're winding down, sir. We're winding down. You're making very valid points. We lost him, but he was making very valid points. He said, the military that is protecting them, they are part and parcel of this society, and they feel the pinch. The police feel the pinch. The custom officers feel the pinch. Soldiers feel the pinch. So he's cautioning government, to tread carefully? Maryam?
I feel like the military, most of them are being compromised.
We don't need military. Military regime is an aberration.
I don't really blame the police because they are taking orders. You take orders or you lose your job. As simple as that.
We keep experimenting this democratic journey until we get it right. Military, I must say, is an aberration. Nobody wants the military.
I really want Nigeria to work, honestly. And the most important thing we have now is petrol. And if we really want this things to move easily, the life to be very easy for an average Nigerian, so we need to really regulate the prices of petrol. That's all I have to say.
To make it affordable.
Very affordable. Exactly.
Yeah, I think.
Before you say something, let's take our last caller.
Okay.
Hello. Good evening. This is Matters Horizon from Kaftan Television. You're on, please.
Hello. Good evening.
Go ahead, sir.
My name is Enoch from Abuja.
Enoch from Abuja. Go ahead with your contribution.
This is my take. I really appreciate you people for the program.
Thank you. We appreciate, sir.
My take is this. The hands of, I think, the federal government and what have played out around Dangote and the invitation of the labor chairman, we can see where the whole game is playing to. So that because they have this intention of the increment of this petroleum product. So I think they called him to interrogate him and to put fear in labor against any other protest. Because this is a game. They have tied Dangote's hands and cajoled him into their game that the fuel must be sold by NNPC. Dangote cannot come into the open market and sell fuel to anybody. So this is an open game. The federal government is just twisting the hands of the people, and you are telling us that you are going to the market to question the person that is selling his pepper and this thing to bring down the price of their products. And petroleum is going up. What medium do they use in transporting these products to the market? How will people go to work? So the whole thing, I think, is just moving the country into anarchy completely. There is nobody that you see on the street of Nigeria that is laughing. Our children cannot go to school. School fees have been tripled, everything tripled all around. Where are we going to? And then for the president to come and address Nigeria, I am not seeing anything different because during the protest or after the protest, I was asked to come and address Nigerians.
He didn't really say anything.
Out, did he address any problem? He didn't address anything. He only came to praise himself and his administration and how they are going to handle. And this thing is just getting out of hand.
It is.
The president should please change his mind. That is my decision. They should please change their mind because they won't just open Nigeria as a hellfire and dump everybody to perish at once.
Thank you, Enoch.
They should just change the carry and whoever that is in NNPC and wherever the NNPC are. They should just change their mind and stop this money making thing and have conscience.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Because the next generation should come up and then have Nigeria to still live in.
Thank you.
That is my take. Thank you very much.
We appreciate your call, Enoch, John, Maryam. I think we have less than 1 minute.
I think that I believe wholeheartedly. I really believe what the caller said. Like I said earlier, he mentioned maybe they threatened Dangote. I believe there is something that happened behind closed doors. I mentioned this earlier, and in other words, I mentioned that this is the Minister of Petrol, Bola Tinubu, should come out and address Nigerians. But another thought, and he really pointed out that what is he going to say? He has addressed Nigerians thousands of times, and it really didn't make sense. Not even one speech. That's the truth. And
I think from my own point of view, my own is an appeal to the conscience of the individuals who are gradually, out of their own personal unbridled greed and primitive acquisition of material wealth, have continued to run this country to a halt. Nigeria is gradually, being grounded to a halt by the greed
at the detriment of the average Nigerians' comfort.
So, but the one thing they must know is that there is always an end to everything. And you can never bring down the people. The will of the people will always prevail.
Very true. You can. They are using threats. Now they are threatening people not to protest. Now everybody will be scared. But one thing I'm going to agree with you is that they can never shut everybody up. Somebody must talk. People must talk, whether they like it or not. That's it.
I am in tandem with both of them that the will of the people will surely prevail. And this is how far we can go on our package tonight on Matters Arising. We thank most profoundly our esteemed viewers and our vibrant callers for making the program interactive. At this point, I would like to reiterate that all comments by our callers are their personal opinion that have nothing to do with the editorial policy of Kaftan Television. On behalf of our producer, Ruben Okala, and the entire production team that made the program possible, especially the Master Control Room, I remain yours truly, Macauley Hunohashi. Good night and see you next time.
And I am John Okoro. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and please, it shall be well with us in Nigeria.
And I am Maryam Idris. Have a very good night rest.
And as we say on Kaftan Television,
imagine a beautiful world.